class with Miss Kris. This week we're going to continue on our repeated patterns. Last week we did our piano keys, and I can't tell you how impressed I am with the piano keys that you shared with me. Those were fantastic. And also I want to let you know, those of you that are doing these videos, if you could share with us on the discussion board maybe some of your favorite drawings, I would really like that, because I plan on doing a virtual art show where I take some of your best work and I'm going to put all of your art together, and this is something that you're going to be able to share with maybe family members and friends. So please, if you go to the classical academies, I know I have some students that don't go to the classical academies, but please share with us on our weekly discussion boards. All right, so here we go, a repeated pattern. So the pattern today that I'm going to show you creates twists and turns and different shapes. And this is really fun to do, and all it is a repeat of the same thing over and over and over with, I use a triangle. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do this today. And then what I did is, after I drew it, I went back with a thick Sharpie and I kind of outlined it darker. I outlined the shapes darker to make them stand out more. I also added a little pencil to create some depth in my shapes. You can do that or not, that's your choice. I've also seen this done where kids add colored pencil and create a color on top of this. It's really, really cool. So anyways, there's lots of ways that you can do this, but I'm gonna show you the pattern and then I want you to give it a try. So once you learn the pattern, it's really easy to replicate. So let's get started with our optical illusion twists and turns. The nice thing about this pattern is once you have it and you've learned how to do it, you can use this pattern in a lot of different pieces of your art. I have taught this before, and my students through the years, they would take this pattern and they would put it in their backgrounds. I would see it in their art here and there throughout the year. So that's really was fun for me to see that they use this over and over and over. So let's learn how to make the twists and turns. All right, so what you're gonna need today is a pencil, because you're probably, if you haven't done this before, you're gonna want a pencil at first, because if you mess up, you can erase it and start over. I've done this project before a few times, so I'm not gonna use a pencil. But if you're just learning, I would have a pencil and eraser to start. Then once you get it, you probably don't need this anymore and you could just use a pen. I'm using a flare pen. It's a skinny pen. Paper Mate makes them. You can use anything, honestly, anything that you can find. A Sharpie will be fine. A pencil's fine. So a black colored pencil is fine. Whatever you can find around the house would be great, but this is what I am choosing to use today. You will need a ruler. A ruler is very important in this because you're gonna need to make lots and lots of lines. So let's start. The first thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start on the corner and I'm gonna make my very first shape. So I'm gonna, as I said, I'm gonna use triangles. I've seen this done other ways, but I'm gonna stick with the triangle. So I made a line like that, which makes a triangle in my corner. Now your triangle doesn't have to be the same as mine. It can be wider or smaller. I'm also, this class, I'm using a half a piece of paper because I did a full piece of paper and it just took me a very long time. You can use a full piece of paper. I just, for today, I didn't want it to take 2 hours. So I'm using a half a piece of paper today. So I make my triangle shape. And actually, I'm gonna make a couple more triangle shapes just so they're done. It can really be anything. How about I make one right here? I divide this in half. Okay, triangle shape. Let's make this into a triangle too. Okay, so we'll start with 3. Okay, so pick one of your triangles and we'll start there. All right, so let's see. I think I'll start with this triangle. I'm gonna leave these 2 blank for now. Sorry, my dogs are being distracting today. All right, so this is gonna be the triangle I'm gonna use. So I'm gonna start at a corner. You can start at any corner that you want. I'm gonna start at this corner, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my ruler in this corner. Maybe I'll show it to you like this will be easier. And then from this corner, I'm gonna shoot out a little bit. You don't wanna shoot out too much, it'll be too wide and the pattern won't look as good. So I'm gonna make mine kind of tight. So about right there. So you see how I went from this corner and then I shot out a little bit? Well, I'm gonna make my first line, okay? Line number 1. Then I'm gonna come to this spot right here and I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna come from this spot and I'm going to shoot out a little bit and I'm gonna make another line, okay? I'm gonna put, every time I make a line, that's my new corner. I'm gonna go from this corner and I'm gonna come out a little bit, okay? See that? Start here. From this spot, I'm going to come out a little bit. A lot of optical illusion is just repeating a pattern over and over. This corner and shoot out a little bit. Now I've taught this before and I know that some kids need, a lot of kids, not just some, a lot of kids need to practice this a few times before they get it down. So right, I shot out, I'm right here. I'm gonna go right here, start there. Going to come out a little bit. And I'm gonna continue this pattern. Oops, just dropped my ruler. I'm gonna continue this pattern until I have no more space. Come out a little bit. This corner. Come out a little bit. This corner. Come out a little bit. And it's gonna go on and on until I run out of space. Now, when it gets like this, I usually do it by hand because it gets really tiny. So I just come out a little bit, go to that corner, come out a little bit, go to that corner, come out a bit, and keep going until it disappears. There we go. So now I have my first swirl. And as you can see, it looks like it's going in, like it's spiraling in. I do like to find my lines and then kind of outline them a little stronger. Like, see this line right here? I usually just come in with my pen and outline it just to make it have a little more depth. Okay, so got my first done. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna keep doing this in all 3, and then I'm gonna make more and more until I fill up my whole paper. All right, so I'm gonna show you one more, and then I'm gonna do a time lapse, and I'm gonna do the whole paper. So let's do one more together, nice and slowly. Okay, so next, I'm gonna pick a different triangle. I'm gonna start now in this corner because I wanna continue this shape right here. So I'm gonna start in this corner, and what am I gonna do? I'm gonna come out a little bit. So what happens now is this shape is gonna melt into my next shape. I stopped right here, right? I'm gonna come out a little bit. Stopped right here, then this is your new corner. I'm gonna come out a little bit. And you might need to watch this video a few times, the beginning of it, to really get it. But once you get it, it's so easy. It just takes like a couple times of practicing. Come out a little bit. Wherever I stopped is where I'm gonna begin. Come out a little bit. Wherever I stop, I'm gonna begin. I'm gonna come out just a little bit. We don't wanna make them too wide, because then I think it's better with a skinnier pattern. And I'm gonna continue on. Sorry if you hear my son, he's playing his video games, and he can be a little loud in my background sometimes. I apologize. Come out a little bit, stop. I'm gonna come out a little bit. Dean, can't. Stop and come out a little bit. Stop, come out a little bit. Stop, come out a little bit. And now I'm gonna do it by hand because I'm getting kind of tight, okay? So I'm gonna come out, come out, come out, come out, come out, come out, come out. Oop. Now we have a new twist. Now look, 2 shapes just made that shape, which is amazing. So we're gonna keep going. Before I go, I'm gonna look at this and I'm gonna see, I'm gonna outline stronger this shape right here. It's kind of like a shell shape. See how it made a shell? By repeating that pattern, we made a really cool shell with a really tight point. Okay, now I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna do this the same way, okay? When I decide to do a new shape, I'm looking at this shape and I'm like, where would be a great place to start? So I think with this shape going on, that I would like to continue it, and I'm gonna start right at this corner. This is just my gut instinct on this. And I'm gonna start, and what am I gonna do? Shoot out, right? Start at this point, shoot out. Start at this point right here and shoot out a little bit. Start at this point and shoot out a little bit. Start at this point and shoot out a little bit. I'm gonna go pretty fast now. This is just me drawing fast, and then I'm gonna do a time lapse, okay? Start at this point and shoot out a little bit. Start at this point and shoot out a little bit. Start at this point and shoot out. Start at this point and shoot out. Start at this point and continue my pattern until I have no more space. This point. All right. Shoot out a little bit. Start at this point. Shoot out. Start at this point. Shoot out this point. Shoot out this point. Shoot out this point. Shoot out. And now I'm going to do it by hand. Shoot out, 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 out. Okay. Now I have some other twists and turns and shapes. Okay, so now I'm going to do a time lapse, and I'm gonna fill the rest of this up. And then you're gonna give it a try yourself. As I said, do it with pencil, try it a few times. Once you get the pattern down, it becomes easy. It becomes locked in your brain too, because you do it over and over and over. You'll never forget it. Alrighty, time lapse time. Here we go. boys and girls, this is what happens when you repeat a pattern over and over and over. It makes a really cool design. I added a little colored pencil at the end just to add, I felt I'm in kind of a blue mood today. Don't worry, I'm not sad. I'm just in a blue mood today. So this is a really fun project. It's a really great pattern to learn, and you can add this in your artwork. I used a skinny marker to create the black. You can use a black Sharpie. And remember, add triangles, make triangles, start at a corner, and then shoot out a little bit and continue to shoot out a little bit until you come to you have no more room. Repeat that over and over and over, and this is what you get. So have a great week. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.